Welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Ray, and this is episode 58 or 59. I don't know why I mess up these episode numbers every time, but man, listen. First thing first, a little housekeeping. I just need y'all to go and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts at. Find us at Dad Can We Talk over all platforms, over on all social media. We are Dad Can We Talk, or you can easily just go to Google and type in Dad Can We Talk, and you will find us. It'll pop up. The episodes will pop up right there, or you can go to the website at dadcanwetalk.com and find everything you need to find right there. But shout out to 6 O'Clock Studios and my man T. Whiting. Appreciate you, my brother. And we finna get into this today, man. So today I'm sitting with a good brother, man. Good brother, my man. Here, I've been waiting to get him on. I've had a couple of people request him. So he's kind of a sought after man. You know, I've had about at least 3 or 4 people say, man, you need to get Vaughn on the podcast. So I say, all right, let me hit my boy up, man. We gonna set something up, man. So I know people probably thinking, why this thing was been supposed to came out, because I told people last weekend it was gonna be out. So we had a couple of difficulties in the schedule. School just started. Shout out to all the kids that just started school this week. I had one of my babies start school. My son just started kindergarten this week. My daughter is in 3rd grade this week. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. There's a lot of kids getting older. They doing new things, meeting new people. It's just all type of stuff going on right now, man. So shout out to all the babies that just started school in Alachua County. And yeah, man, we finna get to it. Man. So without further ado, man, y'all welcome to the show, my man Vaughn Slater.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, man, you know, so like I say, man, you know, people been asking about you, man. So people say, you know, Vaughn got a good story. Yeah, we love Vaughn. So yeah, they love you, bro. They love you. So we finna get to it, man. But my first question that I like to ask on the podcast is, I want you to talk about what your relationship was like with your dad. Talk about that.
Well, of course my mom is from here, and my dad is from down south, Belglade, Florida. So I used to go down there every summer. His mama and my aunt that I used to live with every summer stayed right next door to each other. I would be there for the whole summer, and you know, he would probably come through and scoop me up maybe once the whole time I was there. But you know, I was mostly running around the streets, climbing mango trees and stuff like that with my cousins, and you know, getting in a little trouble here and there, you know, but not nothing bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, he wasn't really there. And it just really taught me, made me want to be a better father to my kids when that time came. You get what I'm saying? So, not to take nothing from him because he is my father, but, you know, and I always pay him respect for that, but, you know, my mama was my daddy.
Yeah.
As in, like, you know, most cases in the black community, so.
Yeah. And, you know, we already know that's a lot of our story, man, you know. And one thing I always say, I think looking at our generation, you know, this generation of fathers, a lot of us have that same story, you know. Either Pops wasn't there, period, or Pops was, you know, here and there, kind of in and out. And I think that's influenced us to be better with our children, and to, or at least have the desire or the want to be better than what we saw as an example from our own dads. But as you grew up, were there any other men that stepped in to try and help?
Of course, we had Chief Jones, he been around my family for a long time, so you know, that was one of the guys I looked up to. And my uncle, Jerome Johnson, you know, running a barbershop over there, B&J's Barbershop.
Okay, that's my boy, yeah. Shout out to my boy Jerome. Okay.
You know, them was my two father figures. So, you know, other than, you know, the guys, my older cousins and stuff like that who I looked up to. But, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. My dad, I was in a car accident after I got older. And, you know, he tried to come back around then, you know, more. But, you know, for me, it was too late. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, I ain't make him feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying? I still, you know, but I welcomed him because I had kids at the time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted him to be a part of their life if he wanted to be, you know. But as far as that father-son relationship, I mean,
it's hard to mend.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is at this point. I'm a grown man, so, you know.
Yeah. So, like, to this day, do y'all ever really talk or he come around?
Well, no, because, you know, let's see. He died.
Oh, okay.
He passed, and a year before my mom passed. My mom passed in 2019. He passed in 2018, I believe it was. And, you know, I mean, it was just one of them things where, you know, I paid my respects and stuff, but the hurt and stuff wasn't there because, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
So,
man, shout out to your moms, man. Your moms used to look out for your boy. I was in middle school, man. She used to look out for your boy all the time. I used to be walking to school with my boy Cleve Franklin, and man, we used to stop by her house. She'll be on my behind. Y'all make sure y'all doing what you're supposed to be doing. She used to be on me. And I used to be eating her Pop-Tarts and stuff, going to her house, man. But, yeah, man, definitely shout out to moms, man. Shout out to pops, too, man. You know, rest in peace to them both. Definitely. But, so.
Hold on, I'm going to say this, though. Ladies, if the daddy want to be in your child's life, in his child's life, give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? Let him mess it up. You get what I'm saying? Of course, you want to, you know, save your kids from, you know, any hurt and all that, protect them and all that, but you got to give a man a chance.
Straight up. Say, hey, y'all ladies, listen now. If that meant, like you say, if a man trying, that's the least you could do. At least give him the opportunity to mess up, you know, because you just never know. He might have come around. He just want to do better. Some men, I know a lot of men in positions like that.
Not only that, though, but just like you, shoot, he learning how to be a parent too.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? It's books written now on how to be a parent, but nobody really knows. Every situation is different. You can't treat every child the same. So, I mean, get a man a chance. Let him learn how to be a dad, how to be a parent.
Straight up. And that's one thing I always try to tell my dad, you know, I had a talk with him a couple of years ago, just telling him, you know, bro, at the end of the day, it ain't never too late. Like, in my eyes, it's like, man, yeah, you messed up years ago. You did this, you did that, man. All we can do is live for right now. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, yeah, you messed up 20 years ago. Man, make that thing right today. As long as you breathing, bro, you living. You got grandchildren now, and I'm a grown man now and married and got my own stuff going on, but I still would like to be able to at least talk to you and reach
invite you over sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be the best of buddies, but you know what I'm saying? You can come to a cookout or something.
Yeah.
Come to the kids' birthday party, be a part of their life.
Straight up.
That's how you make up to me, you know what I mean?
Straight up. That's real. So yeah, man, y'all please do that. Please do that. But man, so how many kids you got?
2.
You got 2. Man, what was that feeling, you know, or what ran through your head when you first found out you was about to be a father? Like, when you first got the news, like, what ran through your head?
I remember like it was yesterday, really, you know what I mean? I was working at the detention center, and I was out taking some kids to court right over here.
Yeah.
And she called, and she was like, she was crying and carrying on. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So she's like, I'm pregnant. And I say, well, look, stop crying. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
So, and it just took off from there. Because I could have been doing a whole bunch of other things, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I grew up in the hood right there in Duval, so you know what I'm saying? We did our little things, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say my daughter, kids will change your life, you know what I mean? It's for the better, if you ask me, because it's not just about you no more. Mm-hmm. So that's how I saw it. So I was happy.
Yeah.
But it changed my life for the better, I guess.
That's real. How old is your oldest?
My daughter is 22 and my son is 16.
So you in the game. So, man, okay. So, 22. For one, what was it like raising, my oldest is 8. So, I ain't even got to the teenage year and the tween year. I ain't even got there yet. What was it like, first off, raising a girl through those years?
Man, nah, it wasn't bad as everybody think. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying. I was always active in her life. I was that daddy that did birthday parties, school, everything. So that was my little rider. So you know what I'm saying. If you raise them right, you won't have no problem. My daughter, she to this day, you know what I mean. She ain't no big party person. She ain't no hangout person. She'll go to work. Back then, she would just go to school and come home. Yeah. Talk on the little phone with her little friends or whatever, the few she did have. And now it's the same thing. She go to work, come home. Yeah. But she don't really do too much hanging out. I was blessed with that much, you know what I mean? She ain't no big club person, no gotta be on the scene.
Would you say that was due to the relationship y'all had? Did y'all have those talks and stuff?
Oh yeah, I've never treated my kids like little kids, you know what I mean? I always try to talk to them and, stuff like that. Like, right now today, I'm always giving it to DJ because, them boys are a little different, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, it's easier, for me, I think it's easier for a woman because, you can meet a man and he'll take care of you or whatever, or, y'all can build together. It's the new millennium, so, women like to be independent, you know what I mean? But they still can appreciate a good man and, they'll follow a good man. But the boys, you got to stay on them a little bit harder. I think as long as you tell your daughter you love all the time, hug her, if she wants stuff, you take her and treat her little stuff. Dinners, ice cream, buy a little stuff. Then it'll be hard for them knuckleheads to come in and be hollering about, oh, I love you, because they, trying to stick their hand in her little honey pot or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So she'll be like, you got to come better than that. My daddy tell me he love me every day. So you telling me you love me, that don't mean nothing to me. You got to come better than that. You know what I mean? But them boys, man, like I say, you got to stay on them boys, especially with what all going on right now.
So have you ever encountered that throughout that time with your daughter? Like, have you ever encountered like a young boy coming to your house, or have any boy ever approached you about it, especially as she's older now and stuff? Like, have you ever dealt with that, or how did you deal with it?
Well, my daughter think I'm crazy, so she bought one kid there. One young boy there. And they, she introduced him, I'm sitting there, we talking, whatever. I told him, I said, hey, y'all relationship is y'all relationship. I ain't gonna be in y'all business. Only thing I got to say is, that's my daughter. You put your hands on her, then we're gonna have a problem. I don't care who your dad is, who your parents is, we gonna have a problem. You know what I mean? I just laid it out to him like that. Needless to say, he ain't never come back no more. He ain't never come back no more. So and she ain't really bought nobody else around yet. So I'm waiting. I don't have no problem with her talking to boys and all that stuff. I mean, it's nature. It's gonna happen. I've never been afraid of that happening. It's just that my thing is, don't put your hand on my baby.
Straight up.
And I tell her the same thing. don't you put your hands on nobody, because you know what I'm saying, because then you're going to put me and in the future your brother in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, we got to defend you, and then, you know, we'll be done went over there and jumped on the man, shot the man, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Because you never know what happened in the heat of the moment. So we be done did that and done went to jail, got ourselves in some trouble, and then you go right back to him.
Yeah, boy.
That don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hear them stories like that. I forgot who I was talking with somebody, but they said something just like that, and they were like, they would rather not get in the situation because they had a situation, I think, with their sister, and they was like, I mean, I would do something, but like, I feel like if I do something, I know she gonna go back to him, so I'm just gonna keep my hands off of her.
Them the kind of predicaments they be putting us in, you know what I mean? Because it ain't that, you know, we so-called scared or whatever, we sitting by watching him beat on your sister, your mom, or whatever, but why intervene if she just gonna go back to him? You get what I'm saying?
Straight up.
You can't help nobody that don't want to be helped.
Straight up. That's real. That's real. And it does go both ways. That's something that I always talk about concerning like boys and girls. It's like I'm gonna teach the same way I'm gonna be teaching my daughters, you know, to make sure you ain't out here doing this and doing that. I'm gonna teach my son the same thing, because it's like, I think it's, you know, it's been times where I've heard or seen, you know, people celebrate their sons being quote unquote pimps or players, whatever we want to call them. We would celebrate that and think that that's something that's cool, but it's like at the end of the day, on the other end of that, that's somebody's daughter. And that could be my daughter, and I'm trying to tell my daughter to keep your legs closed, but you teaching your son to open them legs up. Now there's a conflict there, because now, you know, your son is only doing what he think he should be doing, and the daughter is trying to do what she thinks she should be doing, and it's like there's this conflict because we tell the daughters to, you know, don't do this, you know, keep your legs closed and all these things, and then you don't necessarily tell that to the sons, and it just makes it hard on both sides. So now there's the peer pressure, you know, the boys putting the pressure on the girls, the boys want it, the girls trying to hold off, and then that is just temptation, you know, and I just think it's just something that, you know, we got to be conscious about, making sure we stand on our sons and our daughters both the same, man, making sure we teaching them both, you know, what to do in these situations, man, because like you say, it's nature, man, you know, we as men, we like women.
But like I say, like, you know, that I like to tell people, y'all hear me say a lot, it starts at home.
Yeah. And
when I say it starts at home, it's all in how you raise the kid. I mean, if you teaching them while they growing up, you know what I'm saying? They might not act like they listening, but it's going in. They soaking it in. You just have to keep on doing what you're doing. It's more than being there for them monetarily. You know what I mean? Cause money ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? Just cause you buy them this, buy them that ain't raising your child. You get what I'm saying? It takes more than keeping them fresh and all of that. You get what I'm saying? You just gotta talk to them. Sometimes you gotta. I know as a parent, we tend to put a lot of pressure on the oldest kids and you know stuff like that. But we gotta realize that they still kids. So.
And that's to me also, because I know I put some pressure on my oldest daughter, and I be on her behind. You know, especially like if they at the house, they doing this, they doing that, and then I tell my oldest daughter, "You the oldest," and it's like I'm holding her accountable to that, but then it's like I be trying to think like, man, this girl 8 years old,
right?
Like,
she's still a kid.
She's still, you know, and it's like I catch myself in the moment at times, like
she don't look after them naturally because they her brothers and sisters, and that's how you done brought her up to look after them. But at the same time, she's still a kid. She's not going to be perfect. She's not going to do the same thing that you or your wife would do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's still a kid.
Straight up. That's
kids need to be hugged. I mean, money ain't gonna do it. Free new shoes, all that. You gotta hug that child. You gotta tell them you love them. You gotta, take them out, spend time with them. The same time that you taking trips and all that stuff with your friends in the club. You gotta do some stuff with your child.
Yeah, straight up. Have you ever did you ever spend that time individually? Like do you have those times where it's like, all right, today I'm spending this time with my daughter. Today I'm spending time with my son. My daughter gonna stay home. Do you spend that time individually with them also, and also together?
Yeah. We spend a lot of time together. Me and my daughter used to, take rides and stuff. When I was teaching her how to drive, we'll go out by ourselves and just ride. And, even now, I'd be like, come on, let's go eat or something like that. And just be me and her while her brother in school or at practice or something like that. But yeah, so.
That's real. Man, I ask all these questions because I just be really trying to prepare myself for that time, because I'm like, man, I be looking at my kids' ages, this 8, 5, and 4, and I'm like, well, this jump be tough right now. But then I'd be thinking like, man,
as long as you raise them right,
yeah,
your stress level gonna go down. You know what I mean? 'Cause, of course I worry about DJ right now because there's so much going on out there, and you know what I mean? With all these gun crimes and all that stuff, these shootings. So I pretty much stay on him, but I'm always calling them, seeing if they not with me, where y'all at? What you doing? They might not like it or whatever, but they gon' answer and reply. You know what I mean? But it's all in how you raise them, man. If you raise them right, you ain't got to worry about them as much.
Straight up.
I just worry about DJ a lot more now because he's just like me, very outgoing. He's a people's person. And, you know what I mean? I just have to tell him, be aware of your surroundings at all times and keep your head on the swivel, man.
Straight up.
You know right from wrong. Remember, when you leave this house, you don't just represent yourself. You represent me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So...
That's real. What are your thoughts on the youth violence that's been going on in the city for about the last year? Like, what are your thoughts on how we can, or if there's even anything we can do? Honestly, I don't even know if there's, like, what can we do, or what should we be doing?
Man, it's a lot going on right now. Every other day is like a shooting. At least one or two shootings a week, which is insane. That's crazy for Gainesville.
Especially for Gainesville.
You get what I'm saying? This ain't no big city. It's a city, but it's still country. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only reason we a city
you
is...
take University of Florida.
That's what I was about to say. You take UF out of here, we just as country as Newberry, Archer, you know what
Straight
I mean? Hawthorne.
Straight up.
We got to hit these streets, man. I try to take our streets back. Like I say, it starts at home. When I say it starts at home, is the community. You get what I'm saying? The community, the people in the community. The community is our home, and the people in the community are responsible for that community. We can't wait on the system to raise our kids. We can't wait on the teachers to teach our kids or raise them. They supposed to know how to act when they go to school. They supposed to know how to act when they go out in the community. So it's our job. It's our job. How we expect for other people to care about our community if we don't care about our own community? So, it bothers me to see you can hear my voice cracking because I'm very passionate about my community. You know what I mean? That thing bothers me, man, because like I tell people all the time, if you see my son out doing something he ain't got no business, say something to him.
Straight up.
Don't wait till, I ain't saying cuss him out or put your hands on him, but say something to him because he should straighten up right then. Mm-hmm. Then, you know, you tell me about it. Don't wait till you see me to tell me he doing something. Correct him right then. So, because you might be saving him from being shot, killed, or even going to jail or beat up real bad.
That's real. So, that's real.
Like I say, it takes a village to raise a child. So, we just got to get back on our job.
That's real. That's real, man. And
village slipping.
And I can't agree more with that because, you know, I think that's something that's truly missing in our community. I think when I look at the community, I always say the community starts with the family. Like you said, start at home. It start with the family. Mm-hmm. And I think, to me, my opinion, the family starts with the head, the daddy.
But you gotta realize a lot of houses don't have that.
And that's why we're going with it. So now it's like a lot of the houses that they don't have daddies in the home. So what should we do as far as, okay, now there's a lot of homes that don't have dads in them. As fathers, should we take on that responsibility?
Of course. I mean, like I say, I got 2 kids biologically. But truth be told, every kid that done played football for me, basketball for me, even kids that I don't even know, when I go volunteer at these schools and sit in the classroom, I'm getting on them if they saying something or doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, disrupting the class or whatever. Like, I remember one time I was at Bishop. This little girl was in there cutting a food. I'm talking about cutting a food. A couple of kids were cutting the food, not just this little girl. And I just straight up told her, sit your butt down and be quiet. You see that lady up there trying to teach, you know what I mean? You don't know me, don't talk to me like that. I say, 9 times out of 10, I bet I know who your mama or your daddy is. You get what I'm saying? By looking at her, I could tell who she was some kin to. So, you know, I straightened her right then, and then she was like, I bet you don't. So I say, so your mama ain't such and such? And her eyes got so big. Your auntie ain't such and such? Your uncle ain't such and such? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I say, it's just, even though a household might not have a father in it, that's why it goes back to the community thing again. Mm-hmm. We got to step up. Mm-hmm. But we also got to get out of that mind frame where our kids don't do no wrong. Mm-hmm. And can't nobody say nothing to our child. Mm-hmm. We got to. Because if we don't, it's going to keep going on the way it's going now. Back in the day, my grandma would send us to the store. Back then in Duval, we would have to go up 8th Avenue to Mr. Ellickston's store right there in front of Gardenia. That's a good little hump walking, little kid. So if we did anything in between that stretch from my grandma's house to that store, by the time we got home, my grandma was going to know about it. Plus, we was going to get in trouble wherever we did it at. So we might have got slapped upside the head or beaten. And then by the time we got home and our grandma knew about it, we was going to get another slap across the head or another beating. So, you know what I mean? We got to get back to the old ways when it comes to raising these kids, because you got to think, the reason why they join gangs, because they want to feel a part of something. Mm-hmm. They want to feel loved. And if they ain't getting that I love you at home, or them hugs or whatever, that attention at home, like I say, money ain't buying your kids, making sure they stay fresh and all of that, ain't raising your kid. Mm-hmm. Sending them money ain't raising your kid.
Talking about these kids and these gangs, it's like most of the time little boys. A lot of these boys, and that's why it's so important for us men, like you said earlier, hitting the streets, and when we're talking about hitting the streets, when I think about that, I'm thinking about building relationships. Going out, building relationships with young men, because at the end of the day, bro, that's what they want. Some of them want that.
But that's why I said, not to cut you off, that's why I said they join these games to be a part of something, because they're not getting the attention. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And if they not getting the attention at home or whatever, they gonna cling to the first thing, person, place, or thing that show them that attention and that love. And if these games are what's showing them that love, you know what I mean, putting a little money in their pocket, or you know what I'm saying, dapping them up, giving them hugs, telling them I love you, or whatever, because they quick to say I love you, bruh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
That's the most love. That's the first time they done heard somebody say they love them, and I don't know how long, because you ain't doing it at home.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? So, we do gotta hit the streets. Like me, you, a couple other guys, we done started taking to the streets, going in these neighborhoods. I think we've been in Village Green so far.
Yeah.
But we're gonna hit some other neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And we're gonna try to build some relationship with these guys.
Cause I think that's really what it's about. Like I was talking with my boy Jason King, and I was telling him, bro, they have beef with each other. They don't have that beef with us. When we come into these communities, I know from my experience going into communities, man, these young men, most of the time they're respectful. You know, they see, you come in their community, you speak to them. Most of them young dudes, man, they very respectful, and you could just tell, they, of course they gonna kind of look at you, especially if they don't know you, they gonna look at you a little funny for a little while. But once they, they feel you out and they like, okay, he coming to talk with us. It ain't no beef. They don't have that beef with us. It's like, yeah, they got all this beef in the streets, but that beef is in the streets. When we go out there, there's gonna be a mutual respect, especially if you respect them. And I think a big thing too is at times we don't give these young men respect. We look at them because they're in the streets and they might be doing certain things, and they look at it like we ain't got to respect them. No, they are old respect. We must respect them, and I believe when you respect someone, they're gonna give respect back. That's just how it works, and I think we just got to do that when we approaching these people.
And that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? We going out here, we hitting these neighborhoods, we talking to them. And when I say we talking to them, we having conversations with them. We're not going out there telling them what they can and can't do, what they shouldn't be doing, because we all human. Even us, some of us, you know what I mean? We done been in the streets. We done did our thing, and you know what I mean? So it's not that we telling them what they can't do. We telling them because we done been there, we done that, and we trying to save them some of the headache and some of the lost time they gonna lose when they go to jail and stuff like that. So again, it starts with us. We gotta hit the neighborhoods. We gotta talk to these kids. They just want to be treated like people and heard and seen, just like you want to be heard and seen when you in the club or when you out, when you posting your pictures from where you done been to Mexico and Puerto Rico and all that. Instead of you and your homegirls going, take the kids somewhere.
Yeah.
They tired of going to Orlando, you know what I mean, to Disney World or, places like that. Ocala does, what the little water park is.
What is that?
You know what I'm saying? Take them out the country. Show them some different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to see some different things.
Yeah.
So,
dang, what's that place called in Ocala?
Wild Water.
Wild Water.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take them somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real though, man. And that increases their exposure, and that gives, a lot of times that'll give a child something to actually look forward to. And like I think a lot of kids feel like they ain't really got anything to live for, especially when you from my talks with a lot of kids in these communities, man, a lot of them, they just don't have, a lot of times the daddy ain't there, and then their mama, like I knew this one family, brother, mama was working at Burger King, bro, and trying to raise 5 kids. And I'm talking about the kids was, I think the youngest was like 11 or 12. So it's like you got these, big kids, and it's like I can only imagine what the mom going through trying to provide for a family, and it's like she doing what she could do. So a lot of times, she ain't gonna be home. So it's like now the kids just trying to get it how they can get it. It's like,
so
man.
She don't, because she trying to make a living for the kids, provide for her kids. You know what I'm saying? She don't even really know what's going on in her own household.
All right.
It was a situation that happened a little while ago where the boy had got in some trouble or whatever, and he was in a gang, all that stuff, and the police go to his house, they find guns, all that. The mama didn't even know none of that was in the house.
Dang.
And the boy staying in her house, but she didn't know her son was in the gang. She didn't know he had guns in her house. So, again, if you know this lady at work, she got 4 kids, and everybody can't afford daycare because daycare is so expensive right now.
Too expensive, boy.
And, you don't want to leave your kids with everybody, so you rather take that chance at leaving them at home by themselves, hoping they're going to do the right thing, nothing happens. But say you got a neighbor, hey, let that neighbor know. If you know your neighbor going to work, keep an eye out.
Straight up.
We got to help each other out. You know
Straight
what I mean? It starts in the community. Starts at home.
Straight up.
When we start taking responsibility and holding ourselves accountable, bro, our communities and everything else will be a whole lot better. Mm-hmm. Our children will start turning back out a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm. That remind me of when I was growing up. We grew up in Tree Trail, and man, we used to have this old lady. She used to live in the front of the building. Man, when my mama used to be at work, listen, her name was Miss Mary. Miss Mary was gonna sit on that porch, and she had a little screen on there too. Sometimes you ain't even know she was on the porch. Let Miss Mary see you doing something, she'll be right on that phone talking to my mama. Mm-hmm. Calling and letting her know. I remember one day we were throwing food at people's cars, throwing eggs and we was throwing rocks, sticks. And some people came in the neighborhood riding around, and they asked Miss Mary, she was sitting outside. They say, they had saw us. They described us to her. She said, oh yeah, I know who they is. Mm-hmm. They live. Man, Miss Mary got me in so much trouble that day. And my mama told me down. And it was like, Miss Mary was always the one who, if my mama was at work and she had to work a double that night, Miss Mary was going to feed us, make sure we had food. She was going to make sure we was in the house at a certain time. And she just always kept the look out on us. And it's like you say, as a neighbor, we should be able to do that type of, we should know our neighbors. We should know our neighbors. Our neighbors should know the situations, and we got to help each other. We have to, bro. It's imperative, for us to get back to that.
We definitely have to, and we definitely need more Miss Marys and people like that. That's important.
Straight up, man.
We got to get out of that mindset of we don't need nobody. We got this. We don't need no man. We don't need nobody. You do need somebody. Not necessarily saying you need a man, but you need help. Everybody needs help.
Straight up.
Everybody needs help.
Straight up.
Even though they might not seem like it, everybody needs help. Everybody not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not okay. And it's okay to do stuff for people and not expect nothing in return, man.
Mm-hmm. That's real, man. If there's one aspect of parenting that you could be better at, what's that one thing that you want to get better at as a parent?
That's a good question. Because I've never thought about it. Well, I have thought about it a couple times, but I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not the best parent. But I tell you what, man, my mama used to bump heads all the time because, I was the oldest and I felt like it was a lot of pressure on me. And everything I did was to try to make my mama proud of me. I tried not to ask for much because I knew I had 5 younger brothers and sisters. So, like that grad bash and all that stuff. And, all that stuff I didn't do because I didn't want to ask my mama for stuff because I had 5 younger brothers and sisters and I felt like I would be taken, from them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, when she passed, my mama passed, I realized, I was upset with her for so many different things, but I think parenting is, like I say, there is no books. Well, there are books now, but like I said earlier, every situation is different. Every child is different, so you can't treat every situation and child the same.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So looking back over the years, I thank my mama before she passed. I was sitting right there next to her. She was sitting in the chair. She couldn't talk. Blood, her throat was full of blood and mucus, so she couldn't talk to me. But I could tell she was trying to sit up and say something. And I told her, I said, Mom, you did a good job. I know we bumped heads a lot, but you did a good job. Becoming a parent, I know it wasn't easy, but we never go hungry.
Mm-hmm.
We never sleep out in the rain. So you did a good job, and I got it from here. I look out for my brothers and sisters. I know if you tired, you done battled this cancer thing 4 times.
Yeah.
And this time, it's really taking a toll on you. If you tired, go on and rest.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, that's real.
So I think we just put too much pressure on people. Just help them out if they need help.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
I don't know if I answered your question, but
No, that's real.
I mean, I just don't. Being a parent is just like everything else, a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
You learn as you go.
Straight up.
You can't say how you gonna react because you don't know how you gonna react in certain situations. You just have to learn as you go, just like you on a job. They can teach you a lot of things, but and they have, handbooks and stuff, if this happens, da 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 da. But some scenarios they don't think of, and then what? So you learning as you go.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
So parenting is just like that. You learn as you go, man.
And there's a lesson in that also, man. Like, one of my boys told me about 5 years ago. He was telling me how he lost his mom. And one thing my boy told me, he said, bro, listen. Whatever you do, bro, always appreciate your parents while you have them.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he was telling me how he was, him and his mom wasn't seeing eye to eye when she passed, and he was like, he never had the chance to actually make it right with her. And he was like, man, bro, like, I think about it every day. So he was like, like, bro, your mom alive, man, bro, make sure you let your mom know you love her, take care of her. And that thing just always sat with me. That was probably like 2015, 2016 when bro was telling me that. And I just never forgot that.
That's for real, man.
And yeah, it's a lesson in that, man. So,
but that goes with everybody. Everybody wants a pat on the back sometimes. I mean, I had a conversation with another guy recently, and we was talking about the police doing their job or whatever, and he said he wasn't gonna pat the police on the back for doing his job, for doing their job, for running towards gunfire and all that stuff. However, everybody appreciates a pat on the back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Straight up. That's real.
That's just being real.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much you seem like you got, you that cool, you this, you that. When somebody tell you, hey man, thank you, I appreciate that, or you did a good job, or whatever the case may be, you appreciate that. You feel some kind of way. You know what I mean? Inside, like you made a difference or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's why I go hard as I do in my community, because I like helping people for one, and knowing I made a difference in somebody's life, whether, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
I cut extra heads or whatever I got to do just so I can do what I need to do in the community. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't like to ask people for money, but, some situations, I'll make a post on Facebook, hey, I'm doing this. Would y'all make a donation towards this? But you better believe I'm going to try to do it myself first. If I got to cut heads, a lot of people don't even know. I got a couple yards I cut every other Monday to make extra cash so I can do stuff in the community. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple cars I wash. So, I mean, what does a will, does a way. Parenting is a learning experience, just like everything else.
Straight up.
You'll never know everything, no matter how old you get, no matter how old your children get, because every year your child gets a year older and a different situation might occur, and you've never been in that situation before, so now you are, and you just learned something. So now next time when your next child go through it, you'll know how to deal with it. You get what I'm saying?
Straight up. That's real. That's real, man. Well, I know you got some stuff to do today, man, but I want to, this last question here, man, if you could go back and talk with the 18-year-old version of Vaughn, if you can look that young man in his face, knowing everything you know now, being who you are right now, if you can go back and say one thing to that young man, the 18-year-old version of you, look him in his face, what would you tell him?
Keep going. Don't give up. Don't worry about that. You got this. And, hold yourself accountable for your actions at all times. Be responsible. Because I was in my car accident, I know the next minute, the next day is not promised to you. So I try to do as much as I can while I can. You get what I'm saying? So I probably should be getting way more sleep than I get, but
yeah,
man, when I tell you I be trying to get so much done in one day because I don't know. We all living on borrowed time. So I try to make the most of every minute, do what I can to help somebody. So I would just say, keep going. It's gonna be all right,
Straight up, man. Well, yeah, man. Y'all listen. My man gave y'all some real stuff today, man. And I pray that, like always, that these things don't fall on deaf ears. You know, we all need help. We all could learn something. We can all learn something from one another. And that's the purpose of this podcast, man. You know, I want dads to come on. I want dads to tell their stories. You know, we all have a story. We all have something to say. You know, people might look at us like we, you know, just these small time dads, you know, but I believe every dad is a big time. You know, we all significant. You know, we might not be the most known people. We might not have these big, huge titles and all that stuff. But the biggest title you gonna hold is being a father. You are raising the next generation. You have people living in your home or that you are responsible for and take care of. That's gonna be potentially taking care of the generations after them. You know, so being a dad is no small thing. I don't care who you are and what you do. If you hold the title of a dad, you are significant. And you play a significant role in your community, in whatever community you belong to. You are big time. And when I bring dads on here, I believe everybody has a significant story. And it ain't no different today. You know, this man has a story and he's had some experiences. Shoot, this man got a 22-year-old and a 16-year-old, boy. So he got more experience than what I got in this thing, man. So, like I always say, I always learn something, man. You know, like, Dad, can we talk? Like, I like to share everybody's stories with the world, but this stuff be for me, man. You know, so, man, I appreciate you, bro, for sharing because I'm still learning as a dad, as a husband. You know, like, I'm constantly learning every single day. And I make so many mistakes, man. It's ridiculous at this fatherhood thing, man.
Don't do that.
And as a husband and all ways around, I'm just every day just asking the Lord, you know, for that mercy and for that grace and to help me, you know, just be better than what I was yesterday. And, you know, having these sit downs like this, talking with other men, man, that thing helps me. I don't know what to do for anybody else. This thing helps me. You know, because I know and I understand that I don't know it all. And I don't never claim to know it all, you know. And I'm trying to get it. Understanding and wisdom, you know. So, man, yeah, like I said, bro, I appreciate you, man. Boy. For real.
Hey, man, I'm calling out all the pastors.
Yeah.
All these coaches. You gotta show your face in the community other than on Sundays mornings.
Right.
With that collection basket, you know what I mean? You got to get out there in the community, pastors. Coaches, you got to show these kids that they mean it's more than football or basketball. Y'all be in their life every day until they not on your team or until they move up to a different age group. Go get on these kids' emergency cars, go to their schools and stuff like that, and you know, pop up on them. Fathers, if you ain't in your kid's life, get in your kid's life, man. Do what you can to make that right. Moms, single mothers, stop. If you holding that man back from seeing his child, you wrong. Make it right. Every child need their father. Every child. Not saying you're not doing a great job, but it's some things that women can't teach a man or a girl. Girls need their daddies.
Straight up.
So, I mean, make it right. Pastors and coaches, I'm challenging you to get in your community.
For real.
Show your face. Calling you out right now.
All of them. For real. But man, listen, it's been Dad Can We Talk, episode 58. Man, this one right here was real. This is real. You know, this ain't no rehearsed stuff. My man spoke. He ain't no questions. My boy came in here and he gave it to y'all raw, man. So hear this man heart.
And I apologize for my voice cracking and stuff like that, but I get very passionate about, these kids, this community, and stuff like that, man. I love my community. I love Gainesville. Straight up,
man. So, yeah, for all my listeners out there, man, I appreciate y'all's support. I appreciate, y'all listening. I appreciate y'all sharing the content. I appreciate all the dads that's partaking in this with me and help me to build this platform, man. I appreciate y'all being real and sharing your stories. And like I always say, we ain't done yet. I got a whole list. I got enough to take me for the next 2 or 3 years. I got a lot of dads that's gonna be coming on this platform. When I first started, I told y'all, back in what that was 2018 or 2019 when I did the whole Black History Month. I say, man, I got a black father for every day of the month that's out here doing what he need to be doing, taking care of his business. And I showed y'all then, I gave y'all them 28 dads, and I say, man, this just scratching the surface, So now I'm at episode 58? That's 58 dads, and that ain't including the bonus episodes I had. So I got a lot of dads, and I told y'all, it's a lot of good dads out here, man. Do not sleep on fatherhood. It's a lot of good dads out here, and y'all done heard all these different stories. This is what we do. This is who we are. So be looking forward to these dads coming on. I got a lot more, man. So yeah, y'all continue to support, subscribe to the podcast, share the content. We appreciate y'all, man. We out here, Dad Can We Talk. Bang.